This would be Thursday, May 18th, which apparently was a very special day for somebody. We had multiple dead kids. You missed the fact we took a class picture that now we'll never know that you're in, unless, of course, you all show up again on the same day. Charger Challenge is coming up in 5 days. Final test is tomorrow. Don't worry about the question. The rest of the kids here voted, and you'll have no idea what it ever was. And then from there, that is the Charger Challenge coming up. Now I have to refocus it. But none of you dead kids are on there, so don't worry about it. We did the whole candy thing, and you have a chance to do that, but you're not here, so just go down to your own cupboard and buy your own. And it probably doesn't cost you any points, and then we'll talk about Princess Bride. Before that, though, we have a special guest speaker. Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, well, this is all I looked through all my 7th grade stuff that I had.
Was it like all of 3 or 4 things?
No. Well, okay, this is the important stuff.
Okay.
So, one, I have a picture for you. You can pass this around. That's my school ID when I was here. This is me and band. Yeah, it was
the you I remember, actually.
That's me from band. That was in my golden years, I would say.
I have a question. Were you bullied?
I don't remember.
Well, you would if you did. Probably not.
Right.
He's barely changed.
That's me.
Thank you. So that was me. What? Yeah. I mean, that was 6 years ago. So I was just then 13. So I was in the same boat as many of you probably. So Mr. Brovicast is my favorite teacher of all time. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm back here. Because Mr. Brovicast just had such an influence on me. I have two things that I remember writing in here. One is about social classes. I had to make a poem about it. And then one was me talking about him. It's short. I was not a very good writer then, and then I want to still. So you guys did the how to make your room a better place. All I said was, I think your room is okay how it is. You should keep it. This almost. Keep it the same, almost how it is. Thank you for a great year. You were my favorite teacher. You still are my favorite teacher.
You put a lot of effort into that bell work.
That was a lot of them. Maybe. And then one thing that I just now read for probably the past 6 years was what you said to me in my yearbook. So, Foley, you were a great kid this year, and I was glad to have you in my class. And I think you, can't read. I think you'd be a great teacher someday. Just do it for the right reasons to change the world and help kids. I just want to thank you. You're nuts.
I know. It gives you like emotions like that. That has no place in school.
So, yeah.
So you must have told me even back then that you were wanting to be a teacher.
Yeah, I must have. I don't remember saying it, but
I mean, I don't either, but obviously,
I did.
I'm not that professional to be able to look into the future. I mean, even I'm not that good, so.
And this one's kind of for you guys. As many of you probably have, you have iPads. I wrote something because I think the next year after I was here, it was about if we should bring iPads in. What's the idea about that? Alright, so this is what I said about bringing iPads in. It would be detrimental to have iPads in schools because it would teach kids to not use brain power and use the internet instead. Also, it could fry kids' brains. This would be a consequential decision. So,
we have iPads.
Not exactly inaccurate.
So, I have a brain to fry. This was my happy birthday and thank you very much.
Very good.
That's nifty. Thank you.
If you want to see any of this,
Yeah.
I'll be some weird.
It's hold on to that band picture for that day when you get your classroom also, because then we'll get. All right. So at the end, we're gonna do that picture thing all together again, because I forgot we have Mr. Foley, And so we're going to add him to the picture because we've got everyone here. So we did the whole class picture, and I did that same class picture I did with you way back in the day. Oh, well, when I go to your open house, you're going to find out because I take a picture of the whole class because I put it in your open house letter. And so you're going to get a chance to see you and all those kids from 7. So someday when some of these kids graduate, they'll see you too. But anyway, that band picture, I was going to point over to where I have mine, but I realized it's still Mr. Wagley. But that's where those embarrassing pictures come in handy, and so I have those same things from 7th grade, and it helps show you the fact that you have.
This is a copy. I
Okay.
have the original, so I just wanted to give it to you.
Ooh, even.
A remembrance of your effect on me.
I'm not, so I got you to stop playing band?
No, it's just the gross face of mine.
I'm glad I had some effect on that. All right, then, because I'm old and easily distracted, I'm going to forget about the picture, so I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Those of you at home, you're just going to have to wait. Those of you here, don't walk in front of the camera. We're going to do the one just on the one that over there where you guys all get together.
Get up, get up. There. Where's Scotty? I actually thought about going in the very back. Where's Olivia? No, I'm
In theory, they've already done this once, so they should be able to get back to it quickly.
Are we doing the fast or the good one?
The normal one first?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to have to move you for a moment. Okay. Both of you also? Yes. Because I know, but I'm not going to use that picture now. I know. Kids are the worst. Once again, those of you in the background, you can't see the little round screeny thing. Alright, not bad. I can see most of you. We're going to do it twice.
Yeah.
So awkward. 1, 2, click. 1, 2, click. Alright, now do your personality, whatever you want to go for. That's some of you are just going for awkward. That's almost like having a personality. And 1, 2, click. And 1, 2, say awkward. Now.
I got a different color than green. Oh, darn it. This looks so gross.
Mitchell. Yes, dear. Now, I'm going more just off the idea. One, you're going to have the book in front of you, so if you spell it wrong, I'm just going to make fun of you.
Okay.
But I'm not going to count that wrong, so that you should be fine with. You're fine with making fun of you? That's probably good. It's probably going to happen a lot. Yesterday, I wanted to have a bit more time to decompress after the reveal, but we sort of had to cram a whole bunch of stuff in there, as I kept throwing one knowledge grenade at you after another and just watching them explode and all the anger that sort of came from you, which entertained me. Normally, we get to take a lot more time after that, but because of NWEA and issues like that, I kind of had to compress it all. So as I use today, I was going to go through and do a bit more talking about the book and the reveal and your thoughts from all of that. And Suskovich.
You said you base your teaching on these books, right?
Basing my teaching on it might be a bit misspeaking. I use these books because they so well coincide with how I teach. And so the idea of lying to your audience in order to make them better enjoy the experience and make them become better people, I like that. And so I have slowly adjusted part of how I teach to connect to it.
So do I have a lot of B points?
Now, see, that's where being able to check the facts comes in. Because you can check the facts, which is why when you ask me, I lied to you? Yes. If you actually go look stuff up, it's amazing. It's like I've been trying to teach you guys to look stuff up all along. If you were just responsible enough to go look for it, you'd find that information and make you a better person overall. At least that's what I try to go for. Which is too bad, because this whole experience is not something my regular kids get at all. And so my regular kids, I go a whole different direction with them and the conversations we have and what goes into it and stuff like that. So they don't get this whole side of me lying to them and building everything up. Instead, it's something that is just I want to use the word joy that my advanced kids get. Burks!
After you found out this was fake, did you have like a different perspective on the book?
Yeah. I was,
Yeah.
it's a good question. I felt much the same way I think some of you guys did with that opening part. One was, why is this in the book? And two is like, it was so weird. And so I was like talking to like Sturgeon, and he and I were going back and forth, and we we're like, should we cut out this little beginning part of it? Should we even do the intro? And the whole conversation I had with him about, well, if you cut out that, then all those later parts where he cuts in, how are we going to explain all those different things? And did you make a mess, and now you're trying to find a way to clean it up? Life choices. There you go. You know how often kids make messes in my room? I don't want to have to go over there and grab something, so yeah, I just keep a paper towel in my back pocket. It makes life so much easier. So we had those conversations about how to go through it and started looking into it and finding out more, and that's where we found this whole explanation. One of the fun things is when kids figure it out early, and I have had either because older siblings ruin it for them because older siblings are the worst, and so that sometimes will kill it. Other times some kids are actually smart enough to look things up. Not you guys, but other kids. And so they'll look stuff up and they'll sort of approach me.
That sounds right.
There is an essay that was written that comes out and says Goldman is actually made up. And that there is this very detailed essay done that I have which goes through and states the fact that Goldman is a make-believe character, and the whole book was actually written by college students as a thesis they did for a doctoral degree. And it gives you all this evidence from the book. And so when kids bring up the idea that, hey, Morgenstern's fake, Goldman wrote it, I go, oh, did you find this? And I can show them the web link and the information, and you can just watch their hair go, aha, and just go shooting backwards. And they're like, I don't understand anything. I go, welcome to school. And then I do the whole reveal thing, and they flip over desks and writing and like pitchforks and stuff like that. But it's just the idea of keep digging until you find the information. Like I said, I do it to make you a better person. There are teachers who do not have such benevolent hearts as I do. And I have a very benevolent heart. I have no idea what that word means. If only we paid attention to look things up. Ouch, right here. Wrong, Meyer?
His birthday is William.
Yes, he is real. Once again, if you thought I were lying, what could you do?
Look it up.
I know, but that's so much work. Being lazy and listening to you is so much
Can I
better.
look it up if Goldman
That's
did?
fine with me. And so, yeah, that's why I bank on you guys being lazy. But
Can I look up
if it
what-
helps, in the little beginning thing, it has a list of all the books that he's written and all the movies that he's done are on there. But before you take that for it, if you turn back, you'll see those little blurbs. Remember I talked about the one from What's-Her-Face's teacher that he made up. Mrs. Sablinski, that one, where he's trying to get the blurb for the front, and I pointed out these front blurbs. If you haven't read those front blurbs, you should, because they're made up. So all these blurbs about it, which are talking about how great Florin is, and Gilder, and Morgenstern, and how, yeah, Goldman wrote those. And so that's why you can turn the little front blurby bit, and it just goes through. So at some point, it's trying to figure out how deep and does all the lying go. The answer is so deep.
Nice.
Morris, did you have a question?
Huh? I did. So S. Morgenstern, is he real or fake?
He is fake.
Okay,
What's that?
he's fake.
Fake. He is Simon Morgenstern's completely made up, and just the idea
Oh,
that
yeah,
went
he's
into
I
it.
have like friends that are globies that are telling me the opposite thing, and I think they're trying to confuse me. Because
Part of it is because Sturgeon threatened them within an inch of their life if they ruined it for you guys. And so that was because they have him third and fourth period, and I don't have you guys till sixth period.
Yeah.
Between third and fourth and sixth, there's this thing called lunch. And so the
Yeah.
fear was that you guys would all be talking and they would ruin it. So whenever my classes come before his, I threaten my classes.
Yeah, this was like after school.
Then I have no idea. They might just be dumb, which could happen with Globetrotters. So, or maybe, I mean, he did the same conversation with his class that I did with you guys, except for the Gospel according to Larry, because he doesn't do it with his kids. He does a different book, because I like to fully dive into the rabbit hole of lying to you. And so, don't you shake your head at me. It made you a better person going down this rabbit hole of lies that we call my class.
And maybe according to Larry better.
How does lying make us better people?
Well, So many ways to answer that. None of them truthful. No, and one, because I think it makes the book back up. If we went into this and I had approached it a completely different way and told you that the whole thing was made up from the very start and said that this is just a made-up thing that we get into from the very beginning, would that be a better way of doing it?
Oh, no.
No,
It would be a lot
boring.
That's my thought too. And so that's one of the reasons why I lie is, one, it's that reveal. This is a thing you remember. Because Foley was in my advanced class years ago. And there's certain things from my class that stick with you. Yesterday was one of them. That feeling of having all of your education ripped out from underneath you, like, ah! And then falling down, that for some reason doesn't go away. And that's a feeling that unfortunately doesn't happen in school often enough. And so the fact that I can create that thing for you, that thing that sticks with you, I don't want to give that up. If I thought the other way worked better, I would. But one, I think this one works. Now, I didn't always used to do the whole gospel according to Larry. I used to do that as the whole truthful, it's a made-up story. And then one year, going into it, I had a kid ask, "Is this real?" And I went, "Yes, it is." And I just decided to go with it and see how far we could go. And it turned out the answer was the end of the year. And then that's when I did the whole, and I actually made a mistake and forgot a couple years to tell my kids that Gospel According to Larry was fake. I went through and did the whole princess thing and then totally forgot to mention gospel, and it wasn't until they came back as 8th graders and yelled at me, they're like, "I found out that it wasn't real." I'm like, "Didn't I tell you?" Like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that one's fake too." So then now I make a better note of going back and putting it all together. May?
Wait, so you were basically saying with the rug ripped out of all our educational
Uh-huh.
knowledge falling down.
Yeah.
Would that basically be like my math teacher telling me that X is like a random number and then like making me do a test on it? Huh?
Something like
We had a test there.
Algebra.
that. The difference is math is almost all fact-based. English, my class, let me see how many facts we've covered this year. It would be no magic lens.
We did one.
What?
Or no, we did the sentence.
Yeah. So we've done magic lens. Magic lens is fact. And then that's the joy of English. What? It's like, and then it's like,
We only did like 5 minutes.
whatever. Learning's overrated anyway. So
We should do more of the rap poetry thing.
the rap poetry thing.
Yeah, that was the only one that I got the bad.
Oh yeah, the haiku. Well, this is the first year I've done
that.
that. So I mean, that's the joy of teaching for as long as I do. I like to try out new things, and so the haiku battle, the rips we did on each
We
other.
tried to roast you.
Yeah,
On you,
I didn't
just you.
try.
that was the first year I've ever done that one. So you guys were my experimental class, and it went about as well as I wanted it to. So I'm gonna make some adjustments for next year and see what I can do from there, and I think it'll be interesting. But I like that
Interesting.
same thing. So hopefully the same thing with gospel, since you guys seem to vigorously shake your head with Princess Bride as far as me approaching it that way. So I'm planning on doing, it seems to be, gospel goes the same way. Do you remember, did I do gospel as a lie with you?
I think we did the second thing. Because I remember going home to my parents and asking, "You remember this kid running for president?" And they never gave me an answer. They just
Alright.
walked away.
Don't take it personally.
It was bad.
Uh,
I was upset.
So that's what, yeah, and so once again, that was just time, teaching. Time-wise, I didn't have enough time to do all the things I wanted to do with you, and I usually get much more into the sequel and get into discussions with that, and it's just, I didn't get to do all the things that I wanted to do, but so be it, and fun there. Tomorrow, well, one, with your books, I'm going to have you use them on the test tomorrow. And then if you are not wanting to keep your book, I will be trading it to you for candy or B points or something like that. And so as long as you have not torn up your book or are using my book, then you're more than welcome to exchange to me. If you want to keep your book because you want to either burn it or dance on it or put it in a sock and hit somebody with it, then that's completely up to you. Otherwise, after you finish tomorrow, we're moving forward from there. Mitchell?
Extra credits?
No, but a good try. Because, once again, extra credit can affect your grade. 2, it has to be educationally based. And just handing me an object is not educationally based.
I disapprove.
Apparently, they disapprove. Wrong, Meyer.
If I